Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a great day so far. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. My name is Solaris, and today we are doing an updated Asuka tier list on his spells. Quite a lot has changed since the last few patches, and I think it is time for another spell update. Now, of course, these are just my opinions, so if you happen to disagree with any of them, let me know in the comments because I would love to have a discussion with you. So I'm going to explain the tiers like how I did last time. You can go ahead and look at the previous uh, video I did if you want to compare the two. So first we have Just Know. These are just spells that, nah, I'm good. Then we'd have I'd Rather Not. Also spells that might have a very niche usage, but other than that, I'm good. Situational, not bad, but it does require, specific situations to be used. Sure is for spells that, I can see it. I could see it. I like it sometimes, sometimes not. Then we have Usually Good, self-explanatory. And then for the final tier, we have Stay With Me. Spells that I just love. So first we have the Blue Cube. Blue Cube is going straight into Usually Good. Hasn't changed at all besides the initial wave of nerfs, which reduced the speed at which the cubes traveled. So yeah, it's fine. Does what it's supposed to do pretty well. Don't really have any issues with it. In order for it to be in Stay With Me, it would have to get buffed into, doing more damage or something like that. But as it is right now, it's fine. It's usually good. Then we have the Triple Cube. This one is also going straight into Usually Good. I think I had it with Stay With Me last time, but the issue with the Triple Cube is just it doesn't travel that quickly. It travels fast enough to where I'm like, okay, the opponent might not be able to do anything about it, And it does cover the whole screen, so really good for screen presence, good for making sure the opponent can't just run up on you. It's not bad, but in order to get with Stay With Me, you have to be a really versatile spell. Okay, next let's talk about the Electric Cube, also going into Usually Good. This one gives you pretty much the highest amount of plus frames you can get from a spell. It's like thirds or so highest. I don't know. Don't quote me on the numbers. It gives you a lot of plus frames, all right? But the issue with it is that it doesn't travel as fast as these other two right here. So I rarely throw this out in neutral because 9 times out of 10 it's getting smacked. If it was as fast as Blue Cube, it basically, if Blue Cube was always the Electric Cube, it would immediately go into Stay With Me. If it had the same speed stuff, like this would be the extra property to push it over the edge. But fortunately just doesn't travel as fast, so it goes down to Usually Good. Then we have Explosion. Now this was a spell that I was scared was gonna get nerfed because of just how good it was, but yeah, this is just going automatically into Stay With Me. Really good range, great for combos, wall bounces, everything that you could possibly want. Great at round start if you do Jump Explosion. Unfortunately, it's not his fastest spell because that goes to Blue Cube. But I like to do Jump Explosion because it dodges far slashes, most of them. It dodges 6Ps, it dodges 2Ss. It covers a lot of round start options, but the issue with that is that it can very easily get called out. Well, easily depending on what character you use, Just a pretty good spell. Never mad seeing it unless I need that projectile, but yeah, fine by me. Now let's talk about one of the biggest glow ups. Give it up for Aquila Metron. This spell used to be a DP, but no longer is. In case you don't know, this now gives you a freeze effect, like Dizzy's freeze. So what you can do is you can combo the opponent, do some combo filler moves, and with this, charge up mana a little bit or draw a card, discard a card, whatever you want, do 6H, and then get all your mana back or get all your cards back, and then probably get some Oki afterwards, depending on how close you are to the opponent. This spell is really good, and it might even be better than Explosion in all honesty. We'll see at the end when I decide to order them, but it has a really large hitbox. Uh, gives you that freeze effect, and it turns Asuka from one of the characters who couldn't wall slump effectively into being like top 5 characters that are able to wall slump. So really, really, really useful. This spell is I am very rarely annoyed with seeing it. And it also got its mana costs reduced. I'm glad that Arxis did this because uh, my idea for its changes was definitely not as good as this, because I wasn't expecting them to give us a Dizzy only mechanic, you know? But yeah, I am glad that it has changed, and I love this spell now. It's probably my favorite. It's one of my favorites now. You probably know which spell is my favorite or one of my favorites later down the line. But yeah, really good. Don't really have much else to say about it. So let's talk about the overhead next. The overhead is people have started reacting to this, unfortunately, so it's not as fast as I used to think it was, but it's still pretty good for keeping the opponent on their toes. Really good for it's fast enough to where you have to be looking out for it, basically, because it makes no noise, it has no visual features to show that it's being activated. So it's really good for going in for some grabs, adding in on the opponent mental. So I'm gonna have to put it in usually good. The reason why I can't put it to stay with me is because you have to be a really versatile spell in order to be in stay with me. Both of these spells can be used offensively and defensively, even though I like to use them more defensively just due to how the hitboxes act. But it's definitely really, really good. And if you want to put it in stay with me, hey, I would not argue with you. Then we have Terra Firma. This spell is really, really good. I'm gonna put it and stay with me. The reason I'm gonna do that is because just like the overhead, it has no visual indicator it's being activated. And another thing that I like to do is after a super wall break, I'll charge up mana once, like just tap it, and then I would immediately activate this. It catches people who are not jumping, backdashing, or crouch blocking. So if the opponent's just kind of like holding back, trying to see what you do, I'll throw this out, it'll catch them off guard, and I'll get a free combo. It's really good in the air as well. And yeah, this spell just does pretty much everything you can want. I think it has as much range as the overhead. The only reason I like it more than the overhead is because the overhead, it's weird because the overhead is more valuable because it's an overhead, but this one it's not as valuable, so sometimes people aren't looking out for it, and people don't know the exact distances at which it can be used. So yeah, Terra Firma, pretty sure this is an upgrade from the last tier list, so yeah, pretty good. Next, let's talk about the utility spells. Let's go ahead and start off with Bookmark because it's the easiest. I mean, it bookmarks all of your spells or reloads all of your spells. Costs basically no mana. It's free. I don't know what to tell you. I'm pretty sure we all know the spell is just godlike. Then we have the reduced mana card. This is going straight into stay with me. In case you don't know, after the rework to Asuka Super, this card now affects full order. So if you're able to get this and then go into full order, which might be the strat in the future, if I'm being honest. If I see that I have this, maybe I should just hold off on spending on my meter and then just go immediately into full order. Pick out exactly what I want, I think that's how Gobo does it. He fishes for this, goes into full order, takes like 10 seconds. Because in case you didn't know, this actually affects full order and makes it last about 2, maybe even 3 times as long. I haven't done the exact numbers on it, but it's a very noticeable difference. I'll just say that. So yeah, I mean, 40% off of all of your mana is just good. Next, let's talk about the staffs. Now, the acceleration staff, I'm gonna put this in usually good. Now, here's my issue with the staffs. Well, it's not really issues, but these are just the reasons why. Spoilers, none of these are going to be in stay with me and probably won't ever be in stay with me. is because they're all 2-card combos. And they're also semi-specific 2-card combos because Acceleration Staff with Terra Firma does nothing, Aquila nothing, Overhead nothing. It requires a projectile to be used. And when you're in these scenarios where you need as much time as possible to get, an offensive spell to keep your pressure going, drawing this or drawing any staff that does not help you in that specific moment is essentially a dead space, a dead spell slot. So due to the fact of being a 2-card combo, I'm gonna have to put it here in usually good. But I mean, we all know what the Acceleration Staff does. Guard crushes for days, sets up pretty much unblockables when you combine it with Teleport. I mean, there's not much else to say about it. We all know it's good. I wouldn't be surprised if it got nerfed. Not that I'm asking for it, but I really wouldn't be surprised, truly, this time. And then we have the Deceleration Staff. Come on. Are you surprised by this? Now, I will say that the last time that I did this, I did read some comments on people who are, advocating that, yeah, some of these stats aren't that good, but they do have, uses. And I do agree with them. Like, throwing out cubes and then you just use the Deceleration Staff, it'll catch your opponent off guard, But I feel like this is only good if you have something like Arpeggio or something with multiple projectiles. Like if I just throw out a Bit Shift Metron with the Deceleration Staff out, like, yeah, it's causing screen presence, but it's still not very good. It's really weird. Look, nobody uses these spells, if I'm being honest. Like, you use it like once in a blue moon, but these are not, core to Asuka's playstyle, unfortunately. I remember somebody saying that they would like to buff it to where the cubes receive a hit of armor if they are under this effect. I don't know about that one. I still don't think that would be good enough. I think what Jake should do is actually increase the speed by just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Like, don't make them so slow to where they're never going to reach the opponent. Just speed them up a tiny bit. And then maybe if you wanted to add armor on top of that, I would genuinely use this. I don't know how busted that would be. Well, I guess that'd be pretty busted if you had something like Arpeggio and Bit Shift Metron. But keep in mind, these are 2-card combos, like I said. Hey, I play Yu-Gi-Oh! If something is a 2-card combo, it better be worth it because, yeah, and these are, again, specific 2-card combos. This does nothing with, these spells right here. So yeah, Deceleration Staff is unfortunately still hot garbage, but I guess hope for next patch, right? And that is the spells for test case 1 complete. As you can see, as I've been saying for a long time now, test case 1 is honestly underrated. All the spells besides 1, in my opinion, are very good. You have mix-ups, you have recovery, you have mana management. You have everything you need to play a competent Asuka right at the very beginning, and I think that is just great. I love that DP is no longer like down here, but now a very viable part of Asuka's playstyle. Yeah, it's just really great to see what I'm looking at right now. Now, test case 2, and I would like to have a moment of silence for probably the biggest fall off that I've seen for a spell. Bit Shift Metron, you're going to situation. I'd even be tempted to put you down here now, if I'm being honest. In case you don't know, unfortunately, Bit Shift Metron was nerfed. It no longer starts off at level 5, but in exchange, it now charges up a bit quicker. It's not fast enough to the point to where I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that this is still good, because I feel like it has to be at least level 3, and that's pushing it. I honestly believe level 4 for it to be, good. Level 3 is like, okay, I think it's decent, but level 4 is when I'm like, okay, this is definitely a good neutral cube. Yeah, just that nerf to Bit Shift Metron. I didn't think it was that serious at first, but I went to go look at some of my old clips, and I was like, man, Neutral used to be so much easier. Neutral used to be so much easier with this card, man. But unfortunately got nerfed. Rip Bit Shift Metron level 5. We'll probably never see you again, but this might be a bit of a hot take if I'm being honest, but I honestly just don't think that it's good anymore, guys. You fell off Bit Shift Metron. Alright, then we have Delayed TARDIS Metron. Now, I had this at like A tier before, but I think honestly... No, I had it at B tier. I think now I can definitely say it's A tier. I slept on this one a lot. I think it was definitely one of the more underrated spells. Something funny that I've been doing more often is that when I play against a Chip or Amelia, I would just throw this out for just like a big shield, you know? I try to stay as close as possible to it because if they're always jumping, where are they weak to? 6p. So I'm like, okay, go ahead. Keep jumping. I mean, I can't do nothing to stop you, but hey, at least TARDIS Metron will be right here in case you want to get gritty and attack it. I'll be just close enough to where if you try that, I'll 6p you. And if not, hey, I'll just be chilling back here, you know, charged up my mana, you know, waiting for you to touch down on the ground, you know. But yeah, this lets you get a lot of Oki setups as well, you know, in the corner, you know, teleport Oki with the fast staff up. Definitely another viable option. Yeah, really good. I like it a lot now. Definitely slept on this too much before. Now we have another unfortunate fallen soldier. Rip RMS Metron. Now it's not as bad as level 5 Bit Shift Metron, but I'm going to put this one in sure because in case you don't know, the nerfs were that it has its guard crush duration reduced and the chip damage reduced unless it's at level 3 or higher, I believe. And I believe at level 3 it's basically to the same speed as it used to be. Not really much for me to talk about with this one. Unfortunately, it just got nerfed and it takes a while. It takes a lot of spells to get up to level 3 and above. So oftentimes they'll get like guard crush for like a second and a half. That also combined with the guard crush nerf as well with the YRC definitely does not make the spell as good as it used to be. Rip RMS. Hope you come back because yeah, just unfortunate. Now on to the utility spells. Let's start off with chaotic option. I'm going to put this immediately in situational. The reason I'm putting in situational is because I mean Asuka is already a random character. Adding another form of randomness on top of them is just, you know, not really worth it. But the spells you get out of this are really good. You get the overhead, you get Terra Firma, you get Arpeggio, you get Auto Import, and you get Continuous Mana. They're good spells. It's just the issue is it's another, even though it's not to the staff's level, it's still another 2-card combo. You don't know what you're going to get. It might not be what you need. It might be a wasted spell slot. I don't really know how they can make it better. I honestly don't think it needs to be better, but maybe make it a bookmark or something, you know? I don't know. I think it's fine as is, but if they wanted to buff it, maybe they could do something like that. Next, let's talk about the mana card. Now, this got buffed. How it used to work was depending, you use this and depending on how many spells you discarded, because this would discard your entire hand, you would get back a certain percentage of mana. So I think like one card was like 25%. Now though, it doesn't discard your whole hand and you get a specific flat amount. After the cost of using the spell itself, now it's like 40 something percent. I don't know the exact values, but it's very noticeable. This is going straight into Stay With Me. It's literally free mana besides like 6%. Like a 6% cost to use, you get like 40% or something back. It's free real estate. Yeah, that mana card is definitely good. Actually, it really does fit with Test Case 2 as well, because Test Case 2 is all about applying that offense. So the issue is that you would be in Test Case 2, you would need a mana card. This would discard your entire hand, so now you're like, what do you want me to do? I'm supposed to be getting in for mix-ups. How can I mix up with basically no special moves? So yeah, I'm glad to see that this has been improved. Definitely a lot better. And then we have the bookmark card. This is also going straight into Stay With Me. This is literally just bookmark, except it shuffles your whole hand. So you could use this to really quickly switch test cases, and then, well, you can switch test cases, use this, and then get a completely new hand, which is definitely a viable option. I think it's great. I'm glad that it was buffed before the rework. It wouldn't refill your whole hand. It would just refill the spells that you already had. So yeah, pretty great in my opinion. Now the staffs. This is one that's gonna hurt me, but I'm gonna have to put the float staff in situational. This is honestly my personal favorite staff. I love using it, especially with Arpeggio and with old Bit Shift level 5 Midtron. Unfortunately, though, it's a 2-card combo. It increases Asuka's jump height, but that doesn't really do much for him except helping him jump out the corner, because the opponent will just wait for you and then just 6p you or do whatever else they want to you at that point. But yeah, what I would really like to see is these two staffs that are in test case 2. I would like them switched out to test case 1, but preferably 3, because 3 has the repel staff, which I don't think makes much sense for it. I feel like it would be much better off, and the repel staff would be much better off in test case 2 or 1. But with test case 3, combining the float staff with Arpeggio is so much fun, man. Your cubes are not being interacted with at that point. I just love the chaos that happens when you use the float staff. But yeah, it's just unfortunately not very useful, because in test case 2, you don't get that many projectiles, so it goes against the whole point of the staff, you know. Yes, you could switch test cases while you have this in hand, but it's like, this is more so a gimmick than an actual strategy, except if it's against like Chip or Milia, you know, characters that just like jumping all the day. But against everyone else, it's really just a gimmick. It doesn't really do much for you. Then we have the low rise staff. I forget what it's called exactly. This staff, you know, gives you that instant overhead, but it was also buffed to give you a ground bounce when you use like the blue cube, and I think it's just blue cube that works with it, unfortunately. I'll have to check, but yeah, it gives you a ground bounce, so it's really good for combos, and it makes Asuka's jump lower, you know, giving you those instant overheads. I think it's cool, but again, it's also in a test case that's not, well, it is good for test case 2, but it does require some setup. If it worked with every projectile, then maybe, but the fact that it only works with a select few makes this not really feasible. I'll put it in situational. I could put it in sure, but I think it's just better in situational. And that is test case 2 rounded out. So as you can see, it's definitely been an improvement compared to last time. Like the mana card, the utility cards themselves definitely got a glow up. They really made test case 2 a lot more fun. And I believe Aquila Metron is also in test case 2 as well. So definitely gives you time to gather your resources. So yeah, I really love test case 2, and I'm glad that they improved on it. Now finally we have test case 3, and for our third fallen soldier, my personal favorite spell, Arpeggio, you have fallen off. I hate to say it, man, but Pot, all he has to do is this. He doesn't care. He does not care. As a matter of fact, he's literally laughing at me while he's using this spell. Arpeggio is literally useless against Pot. He will just flick. There's nothing you can do about it. It hurts me so bad, man. It hurts so bad. I want to put this in Stay With Me. I really do. But Potemkin just flicking it away. Johnny misfiring you, because the cues for some reason, well, I don't want to say for some reason, but they actually come out behind you and not in front of you. So Johnny, like, let's say you have him in a knockdown situation. If you don't space this out properly, he'll just wake up and misfire you. If you don't see it coming, well, say goodbye to 20% of your mana. Kai doing forward slash and stun dippers, just sliding under this is annoying. A lot of characters have just found ways to fight back against the cubes. Like, people don't just sit there and take it anymore. So yeah, the spell itself didn't get changed, but just due to how people learning how to play against Asuka, it's definitely fallen off. Rip again, Arpeggio. I love you, but nah. You and Bitch Shift Metron level 5. Y'all made neutral so easy. I'll miss you, buddy. Okay, now let's talk about Teleport. You know, another personal favorite and fan favorite as well. I'm gonna have to put this unfortunately in sure though, because oftentimes it is a 2-card combo. But I mean, sky's the limit. It's very versatile. The biggest thing holding it back though is if you do get called out for this, you get close slash counter hit comboed. I've learned that the hard way plenty of times, and you know, get grabbed in the corner. You really have to do this to where you cannot be retaliated against, because a lot of times it's not very fast. If you know what, if the opponent is paying attention, they should be able to react to this very well, and if they know how punishable it really is, you're in trouble. But yeah, I mean, it's Teleport. I mean, not much to talk about. You know how it works. It's fun, but yeah, it just requires work. Next, let's talk about the recycle spell. I'm gonna have to put this in situational. Again, if you're in that top decking situation where you need to have a good card to draw, you really don't want to see this. Also, you know, in case you don't know, of course, this lets you use the next spell that you have twice. But the unfortunate thing about this is it has a time limit. So it's not like you can just use this and then forget about it and be like, oh, okay, I drew Arpeggio, now I can go for a double Arpeggio. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. I'd like for them to remove the time limit so that way you can be more creative with it, but as it is right now, it's not the best. It only lasts for about 5 seconds as well. Then we have the mana card. The mana card got buffed and nerfed. Buffed, it got buffed in the offensive way because the amount of mana you gain back has been increased, so that's good. However, the way that I personally like to use it, which was defensively, also got nerfed. So that means when you are in hit or block stun, you no longer recover mana. I used to love using this defensively. Now it's like, if you use this, you better go on the offense. Otherwise, you just wasted a good chunk of mana for no reason. So it's no more just throwing this out for free, you know, knowing that you'll be safe. It's like, hey, get in there or you're going to be punished for using this. So for that reason, I'm gonna have to unfortunately put this in usually good. Yeah, man, not much else to say about it. Did it deserve to get nerfed? Who knows? I really don't think it did. I think Asuka having a defensive option like that was great, but it is what it is. Auto import, I mean, come on. It's auto import. It replaces itself, barely costs anything, lasts for a decent duration. This spell is just great. Now we have the staffs finally. Let's start off with the gravity staff. I'll put this in sure or situational. I will say, I'll say sure. It's definitely not bad. It's great, but you know, like I said, 2-card combo. I don't think it's on the same tier as these guys, which is why I'm not putting it there. But it's also like, if there was a tier in between these, it would go there. But yeah, Exodia unfortunately got nerfed because everybody got more health the last patch or two. So yeah, Exodia has been dead for a while now, but it still does its job. It locks down the opponent, so it's definitely great in that regard. But other than that, it doesn't really do much else. Repel staff, and this is one that a lot of people try to make work. It also got buffed because when the opponent is comboed under this and then you use like a blue cube or something, or it actually works with any cube, but they'll do a ground bounce, so it gives you easier combos. This is going to go in I'd rather not, and I'm not just filling it in because the spot was empty. It's just, I acknowledge the fact that it has uses. Even before it got nerfed, people were telling me in the comments, you know, that it had its use, but Still, it's just I'd really rather not use it. Okay, now it's time for the ordering. I honestly say that bookmark is better than auto import because I just think that getting all your spells back is, you know, a lot more useful. They will put Aquila like right here. That's fine. Well, I guess technically this should be like up here too, huh? But it still shuffles your hand, so I'm gonna leave it like that. This is fine. I'll put Arpeggio above RMS and Teleport above RMS. That's fine. I definitely think this is more useful than the spells. Put Chaotic option in front of this. Put that in front of that. I'm iffy about these two, but I'll just leave it at that. Okay, and that is the tier list. You know, these are just my opinions, so if you guys want to talk in the comments whether you agree, disagree, or just want to ask me any questions, or just want to have a conversation about anything in general, feel free to comment below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. If you are watching this on the day that it is uploaded, if you check the community post, I'm actually going to be doing a stream later on today where I'm going to be doing an Asuka challenge run. We're going to get away from the sweatiness of ranked and actually have some fun, you know, try to push Asuka to its creative max limit. So if someone made some challenges on Discord that I really thought was interesting that I wanted to try, so feel free to follow the Twitch or watch here on YouTube because I am now doing multi-streams, and join in on the chaos because I think this will be very fun, a very eye-opening experiment. I want to see just how creative I can get with the character that I've made for over 2 years now and the most versatile character in the game. So hope to see you there, and until next time, farewell.